So I'm going to talk about improving the home mover experience through the automation of sales progression. So the first thing is that sales progression is part of the customer service that an estate agent provides to a vendor and a buyer. And the question I've got is that why is that process and that element of the customer service still analog whilst the rest of the world is digital? Now we're here looking at technology within property, but as we all know, technology has positively disrupted many different sectors. And we've got three brands here, Domino's, Amazon and Uber, who have all automated elements of customer service. They've all taken away some human contact and replaced it with technology, but that hasn't negatively impacted their customer service levels. It's positively impacted customer service to an extent that it's a differentiator between them and their competing businesses. So for Domino's, you now, as a customer, know when your pizza's in the oven, when it's in the delivery van, and when it'll be at your home. With Amazon, when you purchase anything online, doesn't matter about the value of the product, you have full transparency of when that product is dispatched, when it'll be with you, and you even get notified when the product's been delivered if you're not there. With Uber, you'll know the name of the taxi driver, the make of the car, the route the driver is taking to pick you up, the route that they intend to take you to your destination, and your arrival time. Now, these are three very low value transactions that give the customer high levels of transparency, high levels of visibility, and high levels of certainty once they've purchased their product. You compare that to a high value transaction, such as buying a home or selling a home, you have low levels of transparency, low levels of visibility, and low levels of certainty of when that transaction is going to get to completion. One of the things that have definitely changed over the last 5 years has been the power of customer reviews, which is a symptom of customer service. So brands, organizations, anybody that provides a service to consumers can no longer hide a bad customer experience under the carpet. Social media in particular means that everybody's got a voice. So now more than ever, good customer service and good customer reviews will differentiate between successful and unsuccessful businesses. So we're going to take a closer look at the current home mover process. I'm going to assume that most people in this room, because we're at a property conference, understand how complex the sales process is. I mean, this is the process of a single sale. So you have multiple milestones that a property needs to go through to get from price agreed to completion. And in a single property sale, you still have two sets of conveyancers, estate agents, surveyors, brokers, lenders, different parties that will move the property from one stage to the next. This problem's amplified when you have a chain. So 3-4 properties, which is a typical property chain, has over 20 different parties. So to get information from those individuals to understand where the process is and where each task for every property in the connected chain has progressed to is a very complex and very fragmented process. One of the things I want to highlight is this year in particular, everybody's looked at the conveyancing element of a transaction, and they've looked at how archaic it is, how old-fashioned it is, and there's been lots of criticism of the whole conveyancing process. Now, I'm not saying that conveyancing is perfect, but our research shows that the number of days it takes to get from inquiries raised to paperwork signed, so therefore being in an exchange-ready position, on average is 20 working days. So that's 4 weeks. Our data shows that the average time to get a property from sold to contract to completion is 14 weeks. Therefore, the actual legal inquiries process, the bit that's being criticised the most, represents less than 30% of the overall sales process. And there's lots of problems with how transactions get to that stage and how they get to completion, and that's the reason why we have a fall through rate of 1 in 3. So that's 1 in 3 transactions fall through after price agreed. So in a year you'll see 320,000 fall throughs, which means that it affects 640,000 consumers each calendar year that have gone through a transaction where they've thought they've agreed a price to buy or sell a house and it's fallen through. According to the Property Ombudsman, 35% of all complaints into an estate agency branch is in relation to sales progression, and more specifically about the lack of communication between estate agent and their customer after price agreed. And as I said earlier, the average completion time is 14 weeks. That's over 4 months to get your product after you've agreed to buy it. Just taking a deeper look at the 320,000 fall-throughs, our data shows that 40% of those fall through, so 128,000 in a year, will be resold with a competing agent. So as an estate agent, you've won the right to sell someone's house, you've found them a buyer, the transaction's fallen through, and that vendor then loses confidence in you as their selling agent, goes to a competing agent and sells their property, which means that property was always sellable and you should have sold that first. So if you take an average commission of £2,500, the impact of that in terms of lost commission to estate agents is £320 million, a very, very alarming figure. So Rightmove describe estate agents as the matchmaker, and to a consumer, because of the fees involved, the estate agent is the custodian of the sale. They're responsible for making sure that they're the go-between between all the parties in a chain, they're the negotiator, they're the driver behind getting that transaction to completion. However, 75% of the estate agency branches in this country don't have any dedicated sales progression. The 25% that do either have an in-house sales progressor, and what we're seeing more and more of as agents look at this element of their service is centralized sales progression. But even where you do have a dedicated sales progressor, they are limited by the tools available to them. So we have visited many, many agents over the last 2 years, and they all deal with sales progression in the same way. They've either got paper chain charts, so they'll write down the chain and they'll manually call everybody in that chain and physically complete a paper chain chart, which is how they're driving that transaction forward. Those that are slightly more advanced in paper will use an Excel spreadsheet, which serves the same purpose. And in some cases, estate agents will use sales progression modules built into their CRM. But the CRM system is an empty workflow. It will only tell you what you've already told the system of where it is. There's nothing that drives it forward. It still relies upon the agent manually collecting the information via telephone, letters, email, and then relying upon second-hand information to update their customer. This is obviously a significant cost to estate agents. So we did time and motion recording to verify these figures. So a typical sales progressor for a small branch with 4 sales negotiators will spend up to 50 calls a day information gathering from consumers, other agents and conveyancers. So this isn't actually dealing with problems, this isn't getting involved with issues that need negotiation, this is just information gathering. And every business owner that we've spoken to has agreed that this is an inefficient use of their staff's time. So what is View My Chain? We've been building this product for 2 years for people that don't know. So 2015 was spent in development, 2016 was spent testing the product. So we piloted with agents of different shapes and sizes, so nationals, corporates, independents, franchise, hybrid, online, and we've created a one-size-fits-all solution. So it's a universal, data-driven sales progression platform. One of the things that we learned in 2016 is that this is an instruction winner for estate agents. So agents can use this to increase the conversion from appraisal to new instructions. It's a customer experience game changer. It enables agents to offer an enhanced digital experience to their customers. We deliver faster completions with View My Chain, and by virtue of faster completions, we're reducing fall-through rates and improving pipeline conversion from branches. And in the longer term, it enables agents to run a leaner operating model, so you can sell the same number of houses, you can cover a larger geographical area with a lower cost base. What makes View My Chain really unique is the ecosystem that we've built. So we've built a collaborative database that gives us instant visibility of all the key milestones that a property sale goes through. So this is in partnership with land registry, legal search providers, local authorities, banks, building societies, credit reference agencies. And our product doesn't require integration or adoption by conveyancers. It doesn't require integration with estate agency CRM. It doesn't require adoption from every other agent in the chain. As long as you know the address of the property that you're selling and the address of the property that your client is buying, which you should do, then you're able to access instant visibility of the sales status of every property connected in that chain. There's 4 key components to View My Chain. So you have the remote cloud-based digital display, which allows instant visibility to every member of staff of where the chain is. You get the consumer view, which can be hosted by the agent in their own website environment. And then you get notifications, which tell you when events have happened in that chain. And then you also get lag alerts, which say this is where the attention is required. So things don't always happen on time because of various reasons, personal and sometimes because of delays from agents or consumers. This gives you access to what needs to happen next in that chain in order to move that transaction forward. And this is all powered by our property ecosystem database. So we launched in October last year, and we took every transaction that was managed through View My Chain in October, November, and completed pre-Christmas, December 2016. That was just under 10,000 listings. We compared it to every other property that completed not in View My Chain, which was just over 50,000 listings. The transactions that completed via View My Chain completed it in 79 days. The rest of the market completed in 94 days, which meant that if you sold your house through View My Chain in 2016, you completed as a consumer 2 weeks sooner than the rest of the market. We then took a deeper look in 2016 to find out what other elements of sales progression have a direct correlation on completion times. So Q2 last year, we saw the stamp duty changes, which meant that Q1 2016 was the best quarter for the UK property market in the last 5 years. Average completion times were 46 days. Our data also showed that the average number of days between price agreed and searches ordered for every buyer in the chain for that period was 22 days. You go to a normal market, Q4 2016, average completion times are 94 days, but the average number of days between price agreed and searches ordered for every buyer in the chain jumped from 22 to 46 days, which means there's unsurprisingly a direct correlation between all buyers in a chain ordering searches and completion times. View My Chain is the only product that gives you instant visibility of who has ordered searches in the chain and who still needs to get their searches ordered. So we all know that consumers want more transparency, more certainty, they want fewer fall-throughs, and they want the ability to be able to predict what's going to happen next in the process, like they do in every other service. This empowers our member agents to present View My Chain as an enhancer of their existing services to customers. So when Mrs. Smith is getting a house valued in 4 weeks' time, she'll get the same patter from most agents about they've got a database of buyers ready to buy a house. They're on all the major portals. They do good photos. They've been selling houses for 35 years, and they've got relationships with all the local estate agents and solicitors. But with View My Chain, they also have instant access to that chain. They will be able to de-risk that whole transaction. They'll be able to improve the chance of a better completion at a faster time period. So here's some results from the member agents using it in 2016. As you can see, we reduced the lag for these 3 branches during a 3-month period by 22 days. But I want to highlight branch A in particular. This is a typical branch that has 4 sales negotiators and no sales progressor. Before View My Chain, they dedicated hours in a week to do sales chasing. That's not really sales progression. Calling left and right and asking if there's a fire that you need to know about isn't sales progression. What we did was we gave those sales negotiators those hours back in the week, and we said to them, be reactive to our lag alerts, which tells you when something needs looking at, and in turn, you'll be more proactive with sales progression. They saw that lag drop from 55 days to 13 days, which, as we know, has a direct carry-on effect to completion times. Here we see a very well-known London agent, famous for its minis and its yellow sign. They joined the product, and on the 27th of March, Simon Hart, the branch manager, received a notification from our product saying that your related transaction has been relisted. It's called a chain break notification using our database. Simon, on 28th of March, was able to call the connecting agent, find out that the vendor was not happy with how the deposit was being paid, and therefore the branch manager, Simon, was able to negotiate what the issue was, get that property delisted before the chain broke. That property sale value was £600,000, and they were charging 1.2%, which meant that that chain break notification saved that agent £7,200, which would have been lost commission. Here's an example of a typical chain with 3 properties. We track the milestone from sold to contract, draft contracts, searches ordered, funding, which is the hard mortgage application being made by the buyer, up until completion. For this particular typical example, this agent here will have reduced their task management efforts by 60%. Here's an example of a chain that's lagging. So in today's world, without using View My Chain, this agent of 15 Juniper Drive will call their connecting agent for an update. They will tell them their transaction is progressing fine, and unless that agent is calling every agent and conveyancer in the chain, they have no idea that there's an issue at the bottom of the chain, which is either going to cause a serious delay to transaction or a potential fall through. With our product, 1, they don't need to call their related agent because they know how that's progressing, but 2, they know that the conversation they need to have is with the party at the bottom of the chain, And they can either, on the back of that, manage their client better if the fall through is inevitable, or prevent the fall through from happening in the first place. Without our product, they're blind. Every customer of View My Chain gets access to the consumer view, which means they can invite their consumer to either come to View My Chain directly to track their chain, or visit View My Chain in the environment of the estate agency's website, so they can give their consumer more transparency of the process and the effort and the work that's going in after the price has been agreed to buy or sell a house. So, to summarise, the business benefits for View My Chain to an estate agent: first of all, new business. Agents are increasing the conversion rate from appraisal to new instructions on the back of View My Chain. Second is management time saving by taking the effort from branch managers dealing with sales progression complaints away from them. Preventing lost commission by either empowering the agent to better manage their customer, or by reducing the fall through in the first place. And in the longer term, giving every agent the ability to run a leaner operator model, which means sell the same amount of houses or cover a larger geographical area at a lower cost base. So we're proud to say, last slide, we're proud to say that at the moment we have 7 out of the top 10 UK estate agency groups using our product, and we've got 75% of the top 100 agency groups based on office numbers either trialling, rolling out, or already buying our product. 2 out of the top 5 national new home developers are using View My Chain, and we've got multiple user accounts. If you're a business owner or a branch manager, you get to access better management information, so telling you what your pipeline conversion is going to be based on whole of chain position rather than just aged SSTC. And if you're a negotiator or a progressor, you can use it as part of your day-to-day activities, either doing sales chasing or winning new instructions. And every customer that's buying or selling a house through a View My Chain View My Chain member gets better transparency and visibility than having to rely upon phone calls during office hours. I don't think we'll have time for the video, but please come. Oh, we do? Okay.
Our company really focuses on delivering great customer service and an excellent customer experience. So really all the little things we can do for our customers to over-deliver. We decided to trial View My Chain because we wanted to try and improve our sales progression department. It's a key area of the business. A lot of agents fall down with their post-sale care. I really like the fact that you can see a snapshot of the whole chain very quickly and easily. For somebody like myself, where I'm not involved with the day-to-day chasing of the progression, it's important to be able to see all of the trigger points very quickly, and also being able to see points that need extra work. So it's really the speeds that we can see for the transaction, but also the transparency of where everything is.
Other processes and systems I've used before don't allow the client to have any visual side. They don't actually see what I'm doing. Everything is done on my contact. With View My Chain, clients can actually log in and have a bit of control over what they're actually seeing. It also allows them to give a bit of reassurance as to what I'm doing for them on a day-to-day basis.
Our customers have really benefited from the initial use of View My Chain, in that we've been able to communicate clear, precise information which can be relied upon. So we've been able to keep them much more informed with key data. I think they've also benefited from a quicker, smoother transaction. View My Chain can really help us have a competitive edge, because if we can improve our transaction speed and also the information we can deliver to our clients, it can really set us apart.
Thank you very much. That was brilliant. Are there any questions from the floor? Yes, there's a question down there. Great, thank you very much.
Hi there. Sorry, I was just wondering what your thoughts are on blockchain and whether it's something that you'd be looking at the name of your firm.
No, is a short answer.
Why is that?
Because I don't know enough about it.
Short and sweet, or short. Anyone else? Okay, well, I mean, it'd be great. I've got loads of questions that I wrote down throughout the presentation there, but we are running a little bit behind. So if anyone has any questions that they want to ask, then will you be around the lunch?
Yeah, we've got an exhibition stand as well.
Great, that's brilliant. Thanks so much.